Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, you already know this, but my dad and I very recently got picked up by Discraft on the Discraft Underground team. So we're going to be really excited to represent Discraft and all they have in store for the 2020 season, and we'll keep you updated throughout the journey, and enjoy the rest of the video.
Hey everybody, Team Taylor Disc Golf here. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's a beautiful winter afternoon, so we thought we would film some disc golf footage for you. Something a little different. We are going to each pick what we think are two of the most underappreciated discs
In our bags.
Of
Discraft.
And show off why we like them and what we think they can do for you. You're gonna see some more of Team Taylor today. We've got our second son, Micah, here. He's the current 2019 MJ12 state champion in Michigan. We've got Luke, who we've seen before, current MJ15 2019 state champion.
And nationals of
2018.
And MJ12 national champ, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago. And myself, I'll throw a few as well. And we also have
our mom!
Mrs. Taylor, Nikki, is going to show some of her favorites as well. So without further ado, here we go.
Okay, so I know a lot of you watching this are really good disc golfers. I'm not really a really good disc golfer, but what if you're going out with somebody who doesn't have a ton of power, or you're a beginner and you want to have something reliable to throw? So I have two that I really like, and the first is my Sting. It's a driver, but it feels a little bit more like a mid-range driver because it has a nice thin lip. I like thin lip discs. Doesn't have a micro bead, and it's a 0.0, so it's supposed to fly fairly straight. All the discs in my bag, I would say this is probably my most reliable one. I can throw it straight most of the time, get it around a couple hundred feet if I'm having a good day, and it does what I need it to do. So I would highly recommend a Sting if you are a beginning disc golf player like me, or maybe somebody who doesn't have a ton of power and wants to have a great reliable throw. So here goes nothing. Okay, my second disc is a mid-range. This is a Glide, and it doesn't feel crazy different from the Sting to me, but it is more understable. It also has a thin lip, which I like. I like the feel in my hand. This one's really pretty. It's a misprint and double stamp that I found one day out disc golfing. I don't have a good sidearm, so when I need something that's understable that will reliably turn to the right for me, this is the disc I pull out of my bag. So pick up a Glide.
Hello, I'm Micah, and my first disc is the Crank SS. Not thrown nearly as much as the regular crank. The regular crank and the Crank SS are very similar, except for the fact that their flight patterns are a little bit different. For the Crank SS, it depends on what angle you really throw it on, and then near the end of its flight, it will go back in the opposite direction, which is very nice for me, and I would recommend this disc for beginners who want to get a lot of power without having to throw very much. And this is my second disc. My second disc is the Comet. It is a nice approach backhand disc that can be used for nice straight up shots that are through a tight fairway. I love this disc because it goes through tiny gaps when I want it to if I throw it correctly, and that will help me shave off a few strokes off of my final score on my card. And I'd just like to apologize for my lack of throwing backhands far. I'm a horrible sport.
first underrated disc that I have to show you guys, in my opinion underrated, is the drone. I don't see enough people throwing this around, but it's an absolute beefcake of a mid. If you want something that goes further than the zone and is even more overstable than the zone, then this is what you want. I only throw it forehand, but it can also be used for backhands alike, and it will always give you consistent fade on almost any angle that you throw it on. The next underrated disc that I have to show you guys is the Z Wasp. I use this thing for shots that are slightly more overstable than my Buzz and slightly less stable than my Buzz OS. It's like that medium disc that I need because it will do long flexes. I can throw it with some anhyzer and it'll do a nice long flex because of its stability, but it won't just go right out of my hand. It'll do a nice slow flex. And then it also has a bead on the bottom, which allows it to not skip very far.
Hey everybody, my first underrated disc I want to share with you is the Stalker. I remember back when these first came out, I was thinking, man, I want something that flies like a Buzz but goes longer, like a fairway driver. And then like the next week they came out with the Stalker, and I tried it and I've loved it ever since. I was kind of bummed when I didn't even know it was out of production until it almost came back in just recently. So I was sad, and then I was happy about it, that it came back into production. So I'm super excited to get some of the new runs and try those this summer as well. So I'll keep you posted on that. But here's a really old one. This is from 2010. This is my go-to fairway driver. It goes straight, it goes right if I want it to. I have a glow one right here. This one I use for more stable fairway shots, and it's relatively new. I'm not sure what year it's from, but yeah, so Stalker, check it out. Great fairway driver. You can shape it to whatever shot you need, where it's less than max distance. It's just a great feeling disc. It's got a little bead on it. If you have not tried one, you should. I'll throw the glow one right now because we have a little bit of wind here. Okay, here's the glow. I'm going to try to put it out nice and straight. There we go. All right, second underrated disc I'm going to share with you guys today is the Z Flick. Man, I love flicks. I've been throwing them since I started playing tournaments, and it does a little bit of everything for me. They're really overstable drivers. They're so overstable that I don't use them for max distance shots. I don't know anybody who does, but it's a great utility disc. You can do these on skip shots, spike hyzers, flex shots if you need to, thumbers if you need to, get out of trouble or whatever. They can do a little bit of everything, and they're super thin, so it just gives you confidence if you have to throw something, vertically, that you're going to get through it. Or even rollers, they can do cut rollers as well. Great disc. If you have not tried one, try one. I'll throw them both. I'll do one as a forehand and one as a backhand. There's a spike hyzer.
So as you guys could have seen there, the footing is a little bit slippery, there's a little bit of wind, but those were 8 underrated discs that Team Taylor thinks you need to try. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then like it, and if you loved it, subscribe to see more awesome disc golf content. And until next time, have fun discing.